Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television, already sitting at -16 on this chilly Tuesday. Time to heat things up with your business headlines. And for that, we turn to business editor Mike Epple. A lot of pressure.
16.
A lot of pressure on you.
16. Ugh.
To
try. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Happy Tuesday. How are you?
Thank you very much. Forget the temperature. It's already Tuesday, my friend. I'm loving it.
Yep.
Let's talk Bombardier, a big sale for them.
Oh, my goodness. They sold their rail division over the weekend for $8.2 billion US, which equates to over 10 billion Canadian if you're doing the conversion. And the buyer is Alstom out of France. So this company, which is already pretty big in Europe, is consolidating and expanding that much further with the Bombardier assets. A bunch of angles to this story, though, Sarah. First of all, this is sort of the crown jewel for Bombardier. You know, it's been a global leader in rail divisions, subways, streetcars, trains, you name it. And now they're selling to a French-based company. Now, of note, the Quebec Pension Fund, which has sunk billions into Bombardier, is going to actually be one of the largest shareholders in Alstom, so maybe that'll protect some Canadian jobs. We'll see. Or do they send things offshore? Don't know. Still going to need all sorts of regulatory approval. But it's interesting to see how Bombardier has had to do these sales because they sunk so many billions into the development of that new plane, the C-Series. Didn't turn out well. They've sold that. Right. They sold rail. Now they're just a business jet company. And the share price, you do a $10 billion Canadian deal, the share price does nothing in reaction because the shareholders aren't going to get anything. They're just paying down debt with the money.
Let's talk HSBC. They need to make cuts. Where will they be slicing from?
A lot in the U.S., actually, as it turns out. But globally, HSBC, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, which is actually based in London. I mean, this company's been around for a couple of hundred years. It has grown to a global player. It's got over 200,000 employees worldwide. They're cutting 35,000 jobs, so about 12% of the workforce. Lots in the U.S., not sure about here in Canada. They're investing more into Asia. They're being ruthless and strategic in where they're cutting, wherever it's not underperforming assets. So that's tough talk from the management. But, you know, the global industry in the banking sector has been an upheaval because of digitization and all these other things. So they are adjusting there as well.
Finally, Walmart releasing holiday spending numbers. Just how much did we fork out, Mike?
Well, they made $4 billion in profit on well over $100 billion in sales. And Walmart says, oh, we didn't meet our targets, and we were underwhelmed with the results because all of the retailers had a shrunken sales period. Remember how late Black Friday was compared to other years? In November, it was last weekend, so they only had about 4 weeks to do much of their sales. So that caused some issues. And, you know, China and all that aspect of it is now weighing on things right now. Of note, over the weekend, we also heard about the closure officially of Pier 1. You know, they pre-announced that about a few weeks back, made it official over the weekend. I don't know where we're going to get Papasan chairs now, unfortunately, but that brand is going to be no more.
So many questions why you know what that is. We're out of time. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. You can hear a little more of Mike Epple on 660 News, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the markets.
This portion of BT is brought to you by 660 News, Calgary's breaking news, weather, and traffic station.